Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, World Alternative Media here, and that old saying, the rich get richer, tends to be more and more true all the time. But we're going to go deeper into that issue today as we see articles like this, essentially saying, analysts say stocks like Walmart and Chipotle will emerge even stronger after the pandemic. Well, isn't that convenient, my friends? And of course, we're going to break this down for everyone right away as we do witness the greatest global depression in history. But make sure first to check those links below and hit that like button below this video and hit to be notified and all that so you can stay up to date on all the latest from World Alternative Media. But going back into this issue, as it says, and again, analysts say stocks like Walmart and Chipotle will emerge even stronger after the pandemic, and it's interesting how this has all come to fruition because we see other articles like this one. Amazon is poised to emerge from the pandemic stronger than ever, and as it says, with thousands of small retailers closed, perhaps forever, and rivals such as Walmart Inc. forced to rope off non-essential sections in some of their stores, the world's largest online retailer could emerge from the pandemic even stronger than before. And again, this is due to non-stop government meddling in the affairs of small businesses and private enterprise, which is, by the way, fascism. And what we're witnessing is the perfect situation, the perfect storm to prop up this system into another, even larger oligopolist type monopolist, market, which, again, people are going to blame on the free market, despite government literally creating this problem and then people having to deal with it. Look, again, I'm not going to attack the fact that, look, Walmart, Amazon, all these places have tons of employees. They spread a ton of money into the market. They make things easier, no doubt about it. But the fact of the matter is, it is the death of small businesses, and it is, alongside inflation, a big part of the death of the middle class. And there's a reason why these businesses always end up on the top. We see things like Walmart, we see things like McDonald's, Chipotle, Amazon, all these other major industries come to the top, and people say, well, we need more taxes, we need more regulations. But at the end of the day, it's that which causes the problem in the first place. It is a Hegelian dialectic of problem, reaction, solution, repeat for eternity. What happens is, during a regular situation outside of this craziness, Twilight Zone world we're currently living in, the usual situation is that government creates a monopoly, then comes in as a solution because it makes people more dependent on them, and then brings them in later on down the line as a new solution to the problem they caused. So, for example, they regulate businesses, they tax businesses half to death under the guise of stopping big monopolies. But what it actually does is it leads to the small businesses being unable to compete in the market, unable to innovate, unable to provide the same prices and the same services, and unable to hire as many people, and unable to pay them as much, because they cannot compete against Walmart and Amazon and these other guys who can afford to pay more taxes, who can afford to deal with the regulations that are extremely restricting, all the licenses, all the permits, all that crap, the property taxes, everything, while the small businesses, they cannot compete in a free market if there is no free market, because the government props up these other industries against them. And we're seeing the continuation of this right now with what we're witnessing under the coronavirus lockdown. With the COVID lockdowns, we are witnessing small businesses be forced to close under the guise of safety and health, while big businesses are allowed to stay open. A great example is this: Food Fair up against law again. Now, Food Fair is a small store, a grocery store in Winnipeg, Canada, my hometown, and he's been going up against, religious and obviously government holidays, saying, if Walmart and 7-Eleven and these guys are allowed to stay open, why can't I? And he said he ends up making more money to stay open, or by staying open, than the fines he's been getting for staying open. So he just decides to do that, but his employees are hurt, obviously, by the government and what they've been trying to do to him. But as it says, owner who defied statutory closing last year says staying open in a pandemic is important. Yeah, people are dependent more than ever, and providing a service, including food and water, is pretty essential. But of course, if he can't do that, only Walmart's allowed to do that. And they're saying things like the aisles are too tight, so it's not good for social distancing, and it hurts people's health, so he should close. He should close up shop and go broke like every other business so that, the big guys, Walmart, Amazon, can come in and take over from there. And that is the situation we're witnessing right now. We're really just witnessing the further monopolization of industry while everyone gets put out of work, while the jobless rate skyrockets, while people can't afford to feed their family. It's disgusting, it's sick, and millions of people will die from this. Way more people will die from the shutdowns than the virus itself. Fact. Economic fact. Reality, folks. So regardless of what you think about the virus, you should be thinking a little bit more about the biggest cause of death on this planet, outside of war and government in general, is poverty. Central banking, printing currency, devaluing the currency, bringing up the price of living, taxes, regulations, the destruction of the middle class, all at the hands of government, where then the government comes in and says, don't worry, we're here to help the poor, we care about the poor. No, they do not. They want dependency. They want people to be on their knees begging for the government to help them. They cannot benefit outside of that. Why would they do anything? They don't personally benefit from. And of course, this also brings to question these coronavirus bailouts. As this Bloomberg article says, resentment grows on Main Street over bailout winners and losers. And obviously, a lot of businesses get $40,000 small business loan. Some of them make $10 million a year, and they get $40,000. Wow, thanks, government. And a bunch of it ends up getting taken back anyway at the end of the day. We have this out of Reuters. Retailers, restaurants, hotels get 18% of small business bailout cash, SBA. And we have articles like this one. I'm a small business owner. Where's my coronavirus bailout? The government's $350 billion loan fund has run dry, yet many big businesses have been awarded millions. We're asking for a fair shake, and we see things like Shake Shack. That was big in the news. And also another thing that's been pretty controversial, to say the least, is that hedge funds, while they've been ruled ineligible for U.S. small business rescue, they have been applying as small businesses trying to get the money. I can't see this article here, but anyway, it said hedge fund managers are claiming bailouts of small businesses. So this is what we're up against, folks. We're up against the further monopolization of industry, and this will just lead down the line to government coming in and saying they need to help everyone. They need to fix this problem, which they created in the first place. It's a perpetuation of this, the slavery racket. It's a perpetuation of corporatism, of corporate fascism. Look, fascism is government control over a corporation. Communism is government is a corporation. We're only a few steps between each. And honestly, they're going to continue to utilize this crisis, not let a crisis go to waste, and use, order out of chaos in order to get people in order to accept things that usually would be appalling to the average person, but they think it's out of protection. It's not out of protection. The bailouts, think of this. Government creates a problem, then comes in and gives you a bailout, which they print out of thin air or steal from other people. It ends up adding up anyways. And how is that going to fix all of the loss in profits, all of the loss in people at your business, all the clout? How about all the businesses that just started, the small businesses that just launched, especially restaurants, which is already a brutally difficult industry to begin with? What about them? They were already just hanging on by a thread. We saw the mall apocalypse, the retail apocalypse on our doorstep, and then this happens. The catalyst, of course, not the cause, but the catalyst, nonetheless, causing the dominoes to fall over. These big businesses were getting the leg up by the state under the guise of being punished. And now, I'm walking down the street, even here in Mexico where I am, I'm walking down the street and I see Starbucks open, Burger King, Subway open, and all these small businesses closed until recently, only a couple days ago, after they enforced mandatory lockdown here, all these small businesses said, enough of this, and opened up because they saw just the obvious shift to these big industries, these big businesses. Woolworth was open. Yeah, that's still around. Walmart, Costco, Oxxo, which is like the Mexican 7-Eleven. There's literally one across the street from each. It's just everywhere you go. And they're allowed to stay open, but then these small businesses were shut. Tell me where the fairness in that is. Talk about the arbitrary attack on small businesses under the guise of saving people from the coronavirus, especially in places where it's like just a beach and empty. It's completely empty. So you're going to get coronavirus by going to a small store, but you won't at a Walmart with thousands of people all climbing over each other trying to get the best deals. It is a lie. It's a scam. It's fraud. And it perfectly fits into this system that we are currently dealing with here. And again, by the way, I just want to apologize ahead of time just because of the focus of my camera is all off. And I wanted to go buy a new camera for the purpose of doing these computer videos. But apparently they're non-essential. So again, great. Thanks, government. We really appreciate your help stopping us from getting the coronavirus by buying a webcam. It's terrible. It's terrible. We could get so much corona AIDS from that webcam. It's just, we got to be careful. Responsibility, collective responsibility, not individual responsibility, which is a basis of freedom and humanity itself, but of course, collective responsibility, whatever the hell that means. And it does play into what we've been talking about media too and censorship, because, I mean, check this out, folks. Out of just the news. 3 news outlets have received more than $23 million in forgivable stimulus loans. Newspapers were struggling to stay profitable before the coronavirus. So might as well just give them government money, because that is in no way nefarious. We saw that happen before in Canada as well. They got a massive, believe, $600 million media bailout. And it was basically the government saying, you are going to say nice things about us now. And unfortunately, as they would with mainstream media, they agreed. Not publicly, of course, but look, I've been in press conferences in Canada where they tell you, you can ask one of these 5 questions, and all the mainstream media's clamor and jump on that scripted question so they can ask shiny pony Justin Trudeau, the scumbag, a question. Anyway, I'm going to continue to break down this stuff because I believe that this is an outward attack on small businesses, attack on independence, attack on free enterprise, attack on competitiveness, attack on innovation, so that we end up bending over because to the state, because it's dangerous for independent individuals to innovate when the government could be innovating in a really slow, inefficient manner, and beat out all competition and rise up as just this. I suppose you could say it's a chessboard and we're the pawns that are sacrificed for the king and the queen. And the government would prefer to be the corporation. Like I said, communism. And with the trillions of dollars they're printing out of thin air right now, they are essentially on that line, and they're pushing for that global fascio-communist state with China in mind. Don't forget that. We've been reporting on it since day one of this media. And that's why they're censoring us. That's why they're trying to take us down. That's why they're trying to give other medias bailouts. Well, we don't want a bailout, by the way. We would never take it. But the fact that they're trying to prop up these other guys so that we cannot compete. Well, it comes down to you, the people, the free market that's left to keep us up and running. So make sure to hit that like button. Check those links below. Donate, GoFundMe, Patreon, subscribe to any of those things help keep us alive. Just $1 a month or more keeps us alive. Join us on float.app, the alternatives, flote.app, that is. And, of course, join our new newsletter at www.iamband.com. We have a CoinTree link there that attaches to all of our crypto addresses and everything like that that you can help donate to. Anyway, anything helps, guys. My God, what a weird world we live in. But can't say we didn't warn everyone. I mean, this is something we've been talking about for many years, and it's just market fundamentals that are run amok because most people don't understand market fundamentals. And with good intentions, they think they're saving businesses by pushing for the very things that destroy businesses in the first place. Leg up to Walmart, leg down for all the small businesses trying to feed their family and provide a service and provide some kind of innovation for their community. And of course, it's always under the guise of helping them that they destroy them. Whenever the government comes up to you and says, we're the government and we're here to help you, you should run for the hills as fast as possible. Anyway, I appreciate everyone joining us today. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change. Like what you see here, OM? Don't forget to check the links below. GoFundMe, Patreon, Subscribe Star. We really can't do it without you. We've been so insanely shadow banned, about 90% at this point, and 95% demonetized. As Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, comes in and says that she is shutting down quote-unquote controversial content and cutting out the views on this controversial content by 70%. She's been bragging about it. We need your help more than ever in this battle for truth in information. You guys are what keeps us alive, so we really appreciate just even $1 a month makes a huge difference. If everyone could give just $1 a month, we wouldn't even have to worry about competing against the mainstream propaganda networks. You can also donate to our Bitcoin address on the screen for you to scan if you please, as well as in the comments and description. Liking and sharing makes a big difference as well, and finding us on alternative social media platforms like float.app, that's flote.app, makes a huge difference. We're at Josh Sigurdson as well as at Wham. Float is replacing Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, Reddit, and Patreon all in one with encrypted private messaging, and of course monetization on videos for creators, live streams with super chats in crypto, and most of all, no algorithm, because at the end of the day, it's all about reach, guys. This is all about actually reaching people with the message and waking up the public. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, all sorts of different platforms. Try to follow us on as many things as possible, because very soon this channel will very likely just be completely deleted from YouTube, and you'll never see us again, and you'll be stuck with only the mainstream networks. Also, come on out and see us at Anarcho Vegas 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada in July, where such speakers such as G. Edward Griffin and many others will be speaking. You could use promo code WHAM on your VIP tickets and save 10%, as well as buy extremely cheap tickets for just $20.20. You won't find a cheaper conference than this with such amazing names. Check anarchovegas.com for more information on that. We hope to see you out there. And anyway, I really appreciate all of you guys joining us. You make it possible for us to survive in this volatile, propagandized climate. Until next time, this is Josh Sigurdson signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.
I'm sure you have already changed people's minds in your young age because you're involved, and I like that.